friends. Well, I have here my newest purchase, and this is a beautiful vintage Coach XL backpack. This was from the men's line, and this one was made in 1998. And if you think that it looks kind of familiar, if you've been watching my videos since the beginning, I used to have this one in the dark chocolatey brown color, and I sold it. So I did not take my own advice. It was one of my favorite backpacks, and I had it a few years, and I used it all the time, and I don't know why I decided to sell it. Maybe at the time I was running out of room in my vintage bag bin. I don't know. But ever since I sold it, I have been wishing I still had it for like short trips, long trips, to carry to work. It was just a fantastic bag. So of course I had to find it again on eBay, and I was so happy with this one because she had a discount of like $10 off. So I got it for under $150, and it looks like it has never ever been used. I'm going to give you a little spin around before the little history lesson on this bag. So look at the top. I mean, my old one had kind of fuzzy edges on the webbing because it gets a lot of wear. This has none, absolutely none. It's got the hang tag. I didn't do anything to this bag. Didn't polish it, didn't polish the brass. Look at that. It's got padded straps, which are so comfortable. And then it kind of reminded me of the Louis Vuitton Montessori GM, I think, in the style, because you've got this flap with a buckle and then also the tie behind it. And it's got a big pocket in the front here that unzips, and that's where the creed is. So the creed lives in here, but as you can see, I mean, there is like zero wear to this bag. It's incredible. Look at the bottom. It just has the texture of the leather, but I mean, no edge wear at all. So I don't know how I lucked out on this, because this one was from 1998, and you figure it's almost 30 years old and absolutely nothing. So to get into the bag, and I think this kind of irritated me when I first had it, is that you have to open up the buckle flap. So that's one thing you have to get through. And then it's got the drawstring, and it is lined in fabric. It's black fabric, and there is one zippered pocket in the back here, a nice good sized one. But I'll show you what fits in here after I go through the kind of history of this. One of my favorite things about this one too, that my old one didn't have, my old one was, I think, in 1996, and it just had a flat pull tab. But look at how cute this one is. It's a little puffy Coach pull tab. I love that. So this is just an extraordinary deal. I don't know. The pictures looked really good, and I thought, oh, I'm sure when it comes it will have wear on it or something will be wrong with it. No, and in fact, everything is still so stiff, like it just was put away and not used all those years. It's crazy. But the leather on this, I kind of wanted to call your attention to it too. It's not at all pebbled, but it does have a texture on it a little bit. And it was not super smooth like the Coach Court was. It's got a little bit of veining there in the natural leather, but it's really, really soft. It's kind of I wouldn't say it's a thin leather, but it's thinner than the bags that we know of the era. So when I was doing my research on this, there is an online Google Docs that has all of, well, most of probably the old Coach catalogs that were available for each year. And that has been so helpful. I found it, Autumn Beckman had posted it a while back, and I'll try and put it in the bar below along with my original video on my first bag like this. But it's just wonderful. So you can find things and see kind of when they started. I'm always interested in the history of these vintage bags. So like I said, this one is a 1998, but going back in my review of the catalogs, it looks like it was first introduced in 95. And I'll put a picture of the ad for it here from the catalog. So this is the Coach number 529. And before that, they had different similar numbers. They had a Coach 509, and then the next year they had a Coach 519. And the difference it looks like with those is that the back straps were not padded and they didn't have the webbing with the adjustment. It was just smaller leather straps. So that's the only difference I can find between this one and those two. And those were from, I think, 93 and 94. So very similar bag, but this is the 529. This one, the furthest back I could find it was, like I said, 95, and it was $340 back then. So that was quite a bit. And this is called weather-resistant travel leather. And I have not seen that described in any other vintage Coach bags. But again, this was for the men's line. So they wanted to make sure they knew it was rugged and sturdy. So anyhow, I found in these old catalogs it says that it's weather-resistant travel leather. The dimensions they give are 9 3/4 across, 15 1/3 high, and 7 1/3 deep. So it's a big one. And it's funny because now we know this as the Coach XL backpack, but in the catalogs, they never advertised it with that name. It just said backpack, which is kind of strange. So I'm not sure when that moniker came into play. So then the next year in 96, which was like the old one I had, this one went from $340 to $344. So back then they had all the price increases too. And then in 97, it went to $362. I'll put the thing here. And it's the same bag. So they just keep raising the price every year. And then by the time this one came around, I'll put the ad here. It's kind of like a split page, so it's kind of hard to see. But it's this bag only with the nickel hardware, but it was also apparently available with the brass hardware on it. This one was up to $378. So they did price increases back then too, even though it seems like they're just bilking us for all we've got. Those were pretty high prices for back then. I mean, honestly, very high prices for back then. So something to think about with their new prices. I don't know that their quality is as good anymore. I doubt it. I've seen a lot of issues, but for a 30-year-old bag to look this good, I think it was worth it. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you all the stuff you can pack in it. It's amazing. Okay, so I am back with what I would normally pack for maybe a 3 or 4 day trip. And you can see how well it fills out. It's heavy now, but really when it doesn't have a lot in it, it is not a heavy bag. The leather is thin enough that it's not too weighed down. And these straps, from what I remember when I used to carry it to work, it obviously will hold a bigger laptop if you need it to. These straps made it so comfortable. They were just so nicely padded. You can see how thick they are. So that's really nice. And mine, of course, was older and it was broken in, and this one is not broken in. So I will do the breaking in on this one, and I'm not going to let this one go ever again, I swear. It was my favorite backpack I've ever had. So in the front here, you've got your zippered pocket, and you can hold pretty much anything in there, small paperback or passports. I just have an old phone in there just to show you what fits. So there's that. But yeah, that pocket in the front is so handy for keys, passports, whatever you need to get to quickly. I'm going to unbuckle it here and show you everything that I have in here because it's incredible. So let's open this all the way up. I just love how huge this is. And it's not too big on your back. It doesn't look funny. It's just a big backpack. It's a true traveling backpack. So not necessarily just like a day pack or something. So at the top here, I've rolled up all my clothes here, but I just have like a nightshirt, a flannel nightshirt. Put that in there. I have my little Gap sweatshirt in case it gets cold out. That fits. I have some Levi's 501s all rolled up, and those fit no problem. And then I have another little jogging sweatshirt in there. And then I have another pair of jeans in there. So as you can see, I mean, you roll those up, they all fit perfectly. And you could also fit, of course, your underwear. You can put things in this back pocket. So it's just an incredible bag. I will not sell this again. I have learned my lesson, and I am just so happy to have it back in my collection because I'm going to be wearing this baby to work, carrying my laptop, my lunch, everything I need. It'll all fit in one, and it's not going to be too heavy to carry. But yeah, this is a great one. So I hope you liked this little lesson that I've learned not to sell it again, and my little Coach history lesson. I hope that came in handy for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.